Hey everybody, this is going to be a review of the Quadratec Tube Doors for the JL and JT Gladiator, JL, JLU, and JT Gladiator. Just a little bit of a background. This is my 5th Jeep. I had an 07 TJ, or yeah, no, excuse me, a 1997 TJ, oof, an 07 and an 13 JK, and then I had a 2020 JLU, and now a 4-door Gladiator JT. So I had been wanting tube doors for a long time. The reason why I wanted the Gladiator, or excuse me, the Quadratec version, is because they in theory fit the door jambs properly and are in theory supposed to have a smooth profile to go along with the door jambs. You know, if you look at the Quadratec video and you look at the Quadratec pictures on the listing and on their social media, you know, of course, everything is calibrated perfectly, everything fits, everything aligns the way that it should. But this is to kind of give you a real world example. I've had a really just months-long experience with these doors. So just to kind of give you a little summary, I placed my first order for these doors in the beginning of April. It is now all the middle of May. The first set of tube doors I placed over the phone, and they sent to my old house in New York, even though I gave them the right address to my new apartment in California. So a very big difference there. You know, whatever, that was a phone customer service problem, not a big deal. The girl that helped me, they shipped the new set of tube doors out before the other ones even made it back to FedEx, which was cool. I had them in a couple days. So in terms of shipping time, awesome. Come out of somewhere in Pennsylvania, and they made it to California in, I don't know, 3 days. So I was pretty impressed with that. I have not been impressed with the product whatsoever. So I got then the second set shipped to me here out in California, and then a replacement set has already been sent out because they just, I mean, I don't know if it's a quality control thing at the factory or if that's just how these things are, but they do not look and fit at all like they do in the Quadratec video or in the Quadratec photos. And the first thing that I want to point out is the photos in the review on their website that they approve all show the older style doors. So if you look at the reviews online, the Quadratec logo is on the inside bar, and in the Quadratec video they also show the logos on the inside bar. So that was kind of my first thing, is that they come emblazoned with the logo, that just real tacky on all 4 doors, which is obnoxious, but you know, whatever. I haven't tried to take them off, so I don't know if it's easy or if it's a process or what, but that's the first pain in the ass. But you know, whatever. They really do go on pretty smooth. You know, you loosen the 4 bolts, get it on there, shut it so that it's in the bracket so you know where it's going to go, and then tighten these 4 bolts up. And to be honest with you, it really is a pretty smooth operation. You've just got this dial, or this handle here, pops right off. So I'm going to show you the opposite side first, because I've already been working on this one. But the first problem that I had was that if you look in here, there's supposed to be a bump stop here. So they sent me 4 bump stops for all 4 doors, and the first set of bump stops looked like this. Tiny. And if you look at the bump stops in the video, the Quadratec video, they are over 1 inch long and they reach the door jamb. So this bump stop never made contact with the door. So show you the back, for example. I can't show you the back. I guess I just got to put it on here. So problem number 1, the bump stops don't work. So there's all kinds of wiggle. Problem number 2, they don't quite fit into the frame. The front door is not so bad. Front door actually is pretty smooth, but the back door starts out smooth and then it sticks out about 1/2 of an inch. I know that it doesn't really seem like it, but Back doors are clearly not cut properly. This one's even worse than the other side. Sticks out about 1/2 of an inch. So after some back and forth with the Quadratec customer service people, they say, oh, we'll send you out a new set of bump stops to see if that works. Look at the difference. So the long bump stops, my guess, are from the first run, which are the doors that they put in the video review of their own and in the pictures that they approved on their listing on the website. Then this little guy is the one that they sent out with both sets of doors. So the first set of doors I got, bump stops, don't even touch. So there's rattle, really bad rattle. And then I complained about it, so they sent me out another set and they said, see if this works. Obviously this one works. So now you can see that when it makes contact and then locks in, the bump stop is there, no rattle. Perfect. Why they don't send them, why they're not sending the long bump stops out with the doors that are going out is beyond me. I don't know if it's a supply issue and they're trying to get away with these little ones to see who complains and who doesn't or what, but I'm telling you right now, it makes a huge difference. So just to kind of give you an example, because the other ones didn't reach anyways, that's the rattle that goes on if the bump stop doesn't connect. And same thing on the backside. Backside rattles bad because the bump stops don't connect. So this one here, the bump stop is on the outside, and I don't know if I can't really get in there close enough to see, but it doesn't connect, so it rattles something fierce. Same thing on the back side. The back driver's side has been the worst door, and I put the long bump stop on it and it shuts, no rattle, perfect. Still has an issue with sticking out and protruding. The bottoms are not nearly as solid as they are in the video, so I don't know if you can kind of see this, but there's a lot of wiggle to the bottoms of the doors. Structurally, I can't get close enough. Structurally, they're really not that sound. I mean, it's quality metal. I will say that it is a good metal tube door, but they're flimsy. And when I say that is, on the inside, you can't quite tell this, but they're hollow on the inside. They're not a solid door. So, you know, it's like, let's see if I can get, there you go. So it's all hollow in here. So the outside is just a sheet of metal. And then you've got these 3, I don't know, 2.5 inch tube door pieces poorly welded on to a flimsy piece of what I guess is aluminum, maybe. But here's another example. Look at that. I mean, it's not great. So the tube doors, you can get front set, rear set, or both sets. The mirror is not included, so you have to buy that separately. I bought this set on Amazon for about $40. Don't buy it on Quadratec because it'll cost you more. So the other thing that's weird is that my first set of doors that came had the bump stop hardware in it. Then the second set that came that was a replacement because they were, you know, the alignment wasn't great, and they were like, here, try these out. Didn't come with any bump stop hardware, but it came with mirror hardware. So I have to return I don't even know if I'm gonna keep these, to be quite honest with you. I love that. I've always wanted tube doors. I really wanted these ones because they fit the door jamb, but they just, like, I don't know, 1/2 inch there. It kind of comes in here and then bumps out, so that doesn't quite fit. And believe me, I've monkeyed around with the hinges, I've monkeyed around with the brackets to see if that changes everything, and it doesn't. So then in this one, you've got 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of a gap. In this one, almost a full inch gap up here. and then it kind of tapers down to the bottom. Again, sticks out really bad. Back door here, same thing, about a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch sticking out, but it's flush up front. So up here by the hinges, it's fine. But, you know, same thing. Flimsy, you can see it moving probably. Again, it's just thin sheet metal. You know, so supposedly on these doors, let me see if I can, you're supposed to be able to move these brackets in and out. And my guess is that the holes in this metal were not bored or drilled out far enough in this way, so I can't move the bracket any farther in to connect. But also, like, you know, the mechanism in there is shaped in a way that it's meant to fit that space. So I don't know if even if I drilled out even more, like let's say even a 1/4 of an inch, I don't know that it would make a difference. But I also don't know if it would then screw around with how far the door bracket here reaches. You know, so again, I don't know if I'm going to keep these things or not. I mean, they look cool. If you're not a Jeep person, you're not real picky. But if you really keep a nice vehicle and you want it to look a certain way, I don't know if it's worth $1,000. I've considered, you know, there's a $300 set on Amazon. There's a couple other brands out there that make tube bars that sort of fit. Can't think of the name of them off the top of my head. I just don't know. This, when you're driving down a bumpy road, even roads in California are pretty smooth, but you get on a road that's just, you know, been patchwork lipstick on a pig for years and years and years. You hear that while you're driving down the road. You definitely got to turn your music up. You know, they look neat, but again, just thin sheet metal, poor welding. I mean, look at the weld job. These are the boxes for these said that they're made in Mexico. You know, I don't know what. I'm not a welder, so I'm not going to pretend like I can do a better job. But they just look shitty. Like this has even got a hole in it, so moisture gets in there, it's going to start eating away at it. But it's just like smeared. And then, but on the back side, you know, they did a thicker job with whatever coating this is, so it's not as terrible looking, but it's just covering up a really not good looking product. So, you know, for any of you who are on the fence about getting these doors, I hope this video helps your decision making, I guess, or helps answer some questions that, you know, I had, and I went looking for a video like this and couldn't find it. So, you know, maybe this will help somebody. You can decide for yourself, you know, if you're real handy and you can maybe monkey around with this a little bit more than I can. You know, I don't have a garage. I've got anymore. I have my hand tools. I have some basic knowledge of how to fix certain things like this, but I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But also, you know, I've got a studio apartment inside. I don't want to say it's a studio apartment, but a 1-bedroom apartment inside, and I've now got 2 boxes of doors that I have to return. Then I've got these ones. So, you know, it's just been such a pain in the ass. And I don't know. You can decide for yourself, I guess. But long story long, not great. Leave any questions you have in the comments. I'll try to get to them. I don't know if this will go anywhere, but I think my biggest problem is this situation is just such a stupid problem to have for $1,000 set of doors. Like, why even include these little ones if you know that they're not going to fit? I mean, my Jeep is not, there's no mods to the doors. Like, there's nobody else. It's not like other people have thicker doors than I do. So I guess I just don't get, and obviously both sets of doors that I've had now have had this issue. So, like, why wouldn't you just include the long bump stops anyways? If you know, I don't know. It seems like poor craftsmanship. It seems like trying to maybe get rid of some stock that came out not great and hoping nobody knows better or nobody says anything. But again, you can decide for yourself. But this is the Quadratec brand tube doors for the JLU, and JT Jeep Wrangler.